Some discoveries don't just change what we know, they change how we think. For decades, medicine followed a simple rule: one gene, one disease. A single broken gene caused a single condition. But a tiny gene called PTEN would shatter that idea, thanks to the work of one of the great pioneers of cancer genetics, Dr. Charis Eng of the Cleveland Clinic. To understand the breakthrough, you first have to understand PTEN itself. Inside nearly every cell in your body, PTEN acts like a master switch. When a cell senses that its DNA has been damaged, PTEN sends the signal to activate the repair crew. And when a cell starts dividing too fast, PTEN steps in and shuts the process down. It is, in essence, one of the body's most important brakes against runaway cell growth. So what happens when that brake fails? The story begins in 1997. Dr. Eng and her team were studying a rare and often overlooked condition called Cowden syndrome, an inherited disorder marked by abnormal tissue overgrowth. In a landmark paper, they discovered that Cowden syndrome was caused by inherited mutations in the PTEN gene. It was the first time a phosphatase gene had ever been shown to predispose someone to cancer. That single finding opened a door. Over the following 25 years, Dr. Eng kept pulling on the thread, and what she found defied the old one gene, one disease rule. Inherited PTEN mutations weren't tied to just one condition. They were linked to a whole constellation of seemingly unrelated disorders, now grouped together under one name: PTEN Hamartoma tumor syndrome. The numbers are striking. PTEN Hamartoma tumor syndrome has been connected to at least 6 types of cancer, 4 neurological disorders, and 4 overgrowth disorders. A woman born with one of these mutations faces a lifetime breast cancer risk of around 85%, compared to roughly 12% in the general population. The syndrome was also linked to sharply elevated risks of thyroid, endometrial, kidney, and colon cancers, as well as melanoma.
But perhaps the most surprising connection of all was to the brain. Dr. Eng and her colleagues found that inherited PTEN mutations were also associated with autism spectrum disorder. A gene long studied for its role in cancer was now reaching into neurodevelopment. It was a powerful reminder that the same genetic switch can shape the body in radically different ways. This is the heart of why her work mattered so much. By connecting cancer, overgrowth disorders, and autism to a single gene, Dr. Eng helped overturn the rigid one gene, one disease model and replace it with something richer and more accurate, a view where one gene can ripple across many systems of the body. But knowing the risks raised an even harder question. If 2 people carry the very same PTEN mutation, why does one develop cancer while another develops autism and another stays relatively healthy? Dr. Eng believed the answer lay in hidden modifiers, other factors in the body that, as she put it, talk to the inherited mutation and help shape how it plays out. To chase that question, her team studied plasma, cells, and DNA from individuals living with PTEN Hamartoma tumor syndrome and their families. Backed by a $2 million grant from the National Institutes of Health, the goal was bold but practical: to find specific markers that could flag which patients are most at risk, so that caregivers could one day run a simple test and build a truly personalized care plan. That vision, predicting an individual's path from their own biology, is the very definition of personalized medicine, and it reached far beyond a single rare syndrome. The same approach could reshape how we understand many inherited cancer conditions. Dr. Eng often summed up the spirit of this work in a single phrase: research is slow, but knowledge is power. Over a career filled with honors, she remained driven by the patients she served, the families who traveled from around the world to her clinic, hoping for answers. From one small gene came a profound lesson. The genome is not a simple list of one-to-one rules. It is a web of connections where a single switch can echo across cancer, growth, and the developing brain. Thanks to the science built around PTEN, we are learning to read that web. one patient at a time. And in that knowledge lies the power to change lives.